At this time, I'm going to ask the school board to join us in the front row. And while they are processing down there, I'm going to introduce Robert Bass, who is campus pastor at Celebration Church in Orange Park. Pastor Bass will lead us in our invocation and then continue with the pledge. Would you all please stand?
Let's go to God in prayer. Father God, we come before you, and Lord, what an honor it is to be together. Lord, I pray over this whole meeting. I pray for your will to be done. I thank you for all those who serve on our board, and may you bless them with knowledge and courage and with love. Lord, we thank you so much for these kids in our county. We thank you for the families, the parents, the grandparents, and our entire community. And what an awesome opportunity it is to serve them. And Lord, I pray that you continue to lift them up and honor all the kids in our county. And Lord, thank you for the opportunity that we had as adults to be educated with knowledge that comes from you. And Lord, now is our time to pass it on to the next generation. And what an honor that is. So Lord, may you just guide this time and help us to serve this community, these families, the best that we can. And Lord, we once again hand over this board, this meeting to you tonight. Lord, thank you for the hope we have, the life we have, the peace we have, only through Jesus. We pray this in his name. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Ladies and gentlemen, join me in thanking Pastor Freeman for being here. I mistakenly called him by the wrong name. I apologize, Pastor Freeman. Thank you for being here. And now, the Fleming Island Elementary Chorus. And parents and students, have a safe weekend and definitely a happy, happy holiday. Thank you for being here. I call the meeting to order for December 9th, our official school board meeting. We are going to start the evening. What a great evening to do recognitions and awards. It has been a semester. And when I say that sort of tongue in cheek, but it has been challenging for many of us. And for many of us, it's been absolutely wonderful being back in the classroom. So let us start with our 2021 Founders Week Art Contest winners. And I believe, there you are, Ms. Watt from our social studies specialist is going to do the presentations. Take it away.
Is it on? I think it is now. Okay, thank you. All right, good evening, School Board, Superintendent Broski, and our community. I'm honored to be here tonight to recognize 7 students for their remarkable artistic achievements. These students, along with hundreds of other students across the district, participated in the Founders Week Art Contest back in September and October. And as you know, Founders Week is a time we set aside each year to honor our country and the people that make it what it is today. And this year, we paid special tribute to the role of citizens. So this contest provided our K-5 students with the opportunity to reflect on what citizenship means to them and the actions that they can take to positively impact their school and community. So at this time, I'd like to bring up our 7 award winners. So come on up here, and I'd like to share with the community your beautiful artwork. All right, come on up. Everyone come up at once. Yes.
And parents, a reminder, you are welcome to come closer to take pictures.
All right, so we're going to start off, and their artwork is displayed on the screens for everyone to see it, but if you want to see it in original form, it is in the back case. And so we're going to start, we're going to maybe go back one slide to kindergarten. There, all right. And we're going to start with Nadia Dibble from Wilkinson Elementary. And for kindergarten, first and second, they were to tell us about, they were to answer the question, I am a good citizen at school. I'm a good citizen in my school when and Nadia said, when I'm a good citizen in my school when I share my toys at recess. And she really just did a really beautiful illustration of that. So Nadia, come on up here, and I'd love to give you your award. All right, and now we're going to look at first grade artwork. And, okay, so Sophie Skoglund from Fleming Island Elementary, she also reflected on this, and she said, I am a good citizen in my school when I help my friends and others. And there is a very detailed illustration of her on the playground helping a friend who it looks like maybe fell on the slide. So wonderful, Sophie. I would love to hand you your award. All right, in second grade, Andrea Diaz from Plantation Oaks Elementary. She said, I'm a good citizen in my school when I'm listening, helping, sharing with others, and being kind to everyone. And when I follow the rules and I'm responsible too. And Andrea, you just sound like such a wonderful classmate, and I'm sure your teachers love to have someone like you in the class. Great job. All right, so third grade, they had a little bit of a different prompt. They had to give a little bit more detail. So, as a citizen, I can make a difference in my community. And so, they provide us some details on that. And they let us know how they think that their actions may impact their community. And so, Amelia Christian from Tynes Elementary says, as a citizen, I can make a difference in my community by picking up trash I see in the water, which helps the environment and animals. And Amelia shared with me that she goes to the beach and that she does see times when there's trash on the ground and that she wants to help the sea creatures and the environment. So it's a wonderful answer, and we loved the picture that went along with it. Congratulations. All right. And Athena Early, Doctor's Inlet, fourth grade. She says, as a citizen, I can make a difference in my community by making the world a better place by helping poor people and animals with my mom, which helps the poor have a better life. I will give my house to the poor if I have to see, so that they will have a place to live and have fun. So Athena was thinking very deeply on this and showed a lot of empathy and compassion, and it is definitely taking her role as a citizen very seriously. Very impressive illustration to go along with it. Congratulations, Athena. All right, so fifth grade, we had something that we've never had before, and that is a tie. The committee spent a tremendous amount of time looking over the artwork. And when you see it and you see the responses, I think you're going to agree that these two are both absolutely outstanding, and they both deserved this award. So we're going to start. Erica Gobascos, Argyle Elementary, said, as a citizen, I can make a difference in my community by donating, planting plants, picking up trash, wearing a mask, which helps the people, the earth, the environment, and sickness. And she has a really detailed way of showing us all of those things. And it was just a really brilliant piece of work. So congratulations, Erica. Okay. All right, and also tied for fifth grade is Natalie Petrone from Coppergate School of the Arts. And she says, as a citizen, I can make a difference in my community by raising the flag, which helps show appreciation for the soldiers. Natalie, what a beautiful image, and I can tell you put a lot of time into that, into your answer and into your artwork. Congratulations. And before you leave, just take a look at our case in the back, and you can see all the original images. And then you have some other artwork from those that were still spectacular, and we wanted to showcase. So another round of applause for our young artists and the teachers at Inspire'em.
Thank you so much, Ms. Watt. And thank you, young artists. You did a phenomenal job at being excellent, good citizens. Once again, parents, we know that it is a school night, so if you need to leave and get ready for bed, we understand. And please put your children to bed too. No. Our next contributor for this evening's festivities is Michaela Buchanan. Michaela is the Executive Director of the Clay Education Foundation. Thank you for being here this evening, Michaela.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here. I'll let them go. So as you can see, it is that time of year again. We're getting very close to the Apple Awards. On February 4th, we'll be in the Thrasher Horn Center once more for an opportunity to celebrate and recognize our Clay County Teacher and School-Related Employee of the Year. So hopefully we'll see you all there. But tonight, we're just simply here to recognize all of the nominees for Teacher and School-Related Employee of the Year. I do want to preface that I will apologize to St. John's Classical Academy because I did not have their headshots. So everybody else is recognized, but I did want to put that up front so that people didn't think I just actively ignored that. I did not, I promise. So at this point, thank you for that. We enjoy recognizing all of our nominees. We'll do it again on February 4th. At this point, we've done the semifinalists. They've been announced, and on January 12th, we'll have the opportunity to go classroom by classroom to announce the top 5 finalists for Teacher and School-Related Employee of the Year. So again, if you'd like to come and be a part of that, it's a really awesome day of fun, tears, all kinds of stuff. So thank you.
Thank you, Michaela. Excellent. And further recognitions, Mr. Broski?
So, great schools have to have great teachers like the ones you saw up on the screen, as well as great support staff, but it also requires great leadership, right? And in today's age, certainly the pressures of leadership are out there, not only with COVID, but also just in general in today's society. And so today, it's my distinct honor to recognize 2 of our very own. First, our principal of the year. 12 years as a principal, 15 years as a school-based administrator, 5 years at her current school, implementing the Cambridge program, the research-based sensory room, as well as many other programs, an inclusion program that's to be proud of, a pillar of the community, and countless other accolades. Just for Ms. Bullock, I'll also point out that she's a Gator. So we'll point that out about her, okay? So without further ado, so well-deserved from this individual who's also taken a district leadership role in mentoring other administrators, serves on several committees, and is kind of a go-to person when it comes to elementary issues. So without further ado, Ms. Jennifer Collins, our Principal of the Year.
Mom and Dad, you can come up and take pictures.
It's also my pleasure to introduce our assistant principal of the year. Just a quick word about being an assistant principal. I once asked an assistant principal, what's the role of the assistant principal? And the number one answer is support the principal, right? That's step one if you're an assistant principal. Many times the assistant principal gets the, for lack of a better word, the non-glamorous work, the grunt work, the stuff that has to happen, whether it's student discipline referrals, or lunch duty, or all of those things, and every principal out there will tell you they can't do it without a good assistant principal. This person has been at Oakleaf High School for the past 3 years and has 7 years of school-based administration. Does a fantastic job of maximizing teachers and students around him. I'll also point out that he's a graduate of Clay County. He's a graduate of Ridgeview High School. Went to school at, let's see if I get it right, Wilkinson Junior High, Middleburg, and then wound up at Ridgeview. No elementary school? All right, well, we won't hold it against you. Come on up, Tyler Wood, Oakleaf High School.
Thank you, Mr. Broski. Excellent. And thank you, all of the principals and the assistant principals who are here today. Greatly, greatly appreciate all of you. Our next presenter is Dr. Susan Legutko to speak about the American Rescue Plan.
Yes, good afternoon, good evening, good evening. Before I start, I'd like to call up Ryan Widdison, who is an integral part of this presentation. Oh, there you are. Looking at my Okay. All right, let me start with the clicker. Is it on? Okay. All right. So, good evening again. As you know, the district has been fortunate to receive federal funding over the last year or so as a result of the coronavirus. And that funding has been is to support specific and targeted activities due to the virus. So with that being said, during the next few minutes, I, myself, and Ms. Widdison will be providing an overview of the following. The funding for CARES, ESSER 1, CRISA, ESSER 2, and of course the ARP funding. The second part of it would be the results of the public input of our survey as required for ARP, which is the third funding source. And then, of course, we'll provide you with the next steps as it relates to the ARP funding, okay? Okay, so let's start with the overview of the ESSER 1 funds. If you can recall, this was provided to us during the coronavirus situation that we had. And of course, it was the first round of our elementary and secondary school emergency relief fund, better known as CARES. These funds were to provided to states to support continued employment of staff and resources for school districts to maintain our educational services. And of course, I want to emphasize that these funds were non-reoccurring funds and federal funds. Okay. These funds were awarded on July 20th, 2020. When the funds, and it closed, it will close on September 23rd, 2022. These funds were to be used for, of course, immediate needs based on long-term school closures, and of course, providing the online education. So they were targeted specifically for the following items. We purchased Chromebooks, hotspots, and access, personal protective equipment, which is PPE, cleaning, sanitizing equipment and supplies, training for our staff, of course, signage. You remember the signs that we had to all put in all of the buildings. And of course, we had to improve on our online learning platforms. The total amount that we were awarded was about $4 million. And let's see, I'm just trying to go through all the things that we did use the funds for. And right now, there's $0 left. So they were all spent for the purpose of the RFA, or the RFP, which is to spend it on reopening of our online education during the coronavirus. Okay. I'm going to go to ESSER 2. ESSER 2, which is now a different name, CRRSA, the CRRSA funds. These funds were given to us the summer of 2021. And it was a little bit different. The districts were to utilize the ESSER, let's see, hold on, I'm sorry. The total amount of funds that we received were $15.8 million. However, there was a caveat to that funding source. If districts spent their ESSA funds, most of their ESSA funds, they were awarded an advance lump sum. That was about $8 million up front. It was awarded to us, let's see. Okay, let me try and get the dates here. Okay. Oh, it was released to us by May 7th. And the caveat was that we were to spend all of those funds, about a little over $7 million, well, $8 million, by September 1. So from May to September, we had to utilize these funds. Otherwise, we would lose it. So therefore, with that being said, the advanced lump sum was used to support summer school, PPE, health and safety type activities, online learning platforms, textbooks, staff development, HVAC, a lot of HVAC technology, and of course, the charters did receive a portion of those funds. The ESSER 1, they received a portion of the funds, and ESSER 2, they received a portion of these funds. The remainder of the $15 million, which is about $7.3 million, there's ongoing plans. We have not spent all of those dollars yet. We plan on spending it for the next fiscal year, of which it's targeted specifically to summer school learning, to provide the same type of summer school program that we did this past summer, which includes transportation. We're also targeting like after-hours tutoring, additional professional development, professional learning, technology upgrades, PPE again, instructional materials, and of course, part of the funds were used for the disaster relief payment to staff. Okay, so now we come to the ESSER 3, which is now known as ARP, the American Rescue Plan 2021. So we've just received information about this particular grant. It is all federal, and again, all of these dollars are non-reoccurring. These are one-time dollars that we have at our disposal. And again, it was released on November 2021. It has the same requirements for ESSER 1 and ESSER 2 as it relates to the targeted expenditures that we can use it for. However, this particular RFA requires that we receive additional public input. And that's the whole purpose of why we're here tonight. We are going to go through the survey that was presented to the public. So with that, I'd like to introduce Ms. Ryan Widdowson, who will continue with the presentation. And I apologize, I didn't move my slide, but you guys have the, all right. I'll have, she'll do it, so here, it's take it away, I'll do it for you.
Are you sure?
Yes, I'm proud.
Good evening. I'm Ryan Widdowson, the Supervisor of Federal Programs, and I write most of the grants that we get from the federal government. They come through the Florida Department of Education. Additionally, in writing those grants, we have to monitor them, make sure we play by the rules. It's not as simple as they give us money and we do whatever it is that we want to do whenever we want to do it. There are always guidelines and rules. So with ESSER 3 and the American Rescue Plan, one of the things that they added, and they released the grant, they released the RFA, and then we did our usual work where we bring people together, people in the room that represent all the areas that are named in the grant to start talking about what we're going to do. And then FDOE said, hold up, you're going to have to get public input on this. And so we stopped our planning and our work and went into we needed to seek public input. And so that's essentially what we're doing now. Would you go to the, nope, the next, yep, that one. So in looking over the guidance from the Department of Education, they were fairly specific in their language, and that language actually came down from the interim rule by Washington that we had to get the input of community members, parents, employees, and students. And we had to ask about very specific things, particularly our special needs groups. We know that ELL students, ESC students, some of our homeless students, as well as our foster care students, they really felt the pandemic in a way that was different than other students, and so they were specifically named in the RFA and in the interim ruling that we needed to find out what their needs were and get their input. So the survey was created, which could not have been done without Sabrina Thomas. I'm sure she's not here tonight, but she is just a blessing to us in the district with the work that she's able to do with our surveys, collecting the data in a timely way. The survey went out on, I believe the superintendent sent it out on Friday. On the Friday before we went home to Thanksgiving break, it was open, advertised through social media, and then when we returned after the break, we sent another email out to faculty and staff all across the district and asked them to fill the survey out. Next slide.
It was open for 2 full weeks.
2 full weeks. So the categories that we asked the public about and were actually named in the RFA, the grant, we have to ask about academic achievement. We have an interesting little tidbit when we get on to another slide that will kind of explain some of these numbers that are a little different than we would have thought they would have turned out. Academic achievement is one of the items that is specifically named. 20% of the funds must be spent on learning loss. So we opened the survey with academic achievement to hear what people had to say about that. They were to pick 3 items that were their top choices. 31% said that they would like to see the plan written about academic achievement. The bullets on the screen are ways that that might look when we start to write the plan and the program that is going to happen over the next 2 years. Next slide. Career and technical education was 52% of the responders said that they thought that we should make this a focus of the work. Mr. Kemp and I had a conversation about this today. It's interesting, the reason we see some of the numbers we're seeing is our career and tech ed students at the high school level. We had over 2,000 students take the survey over about a 24-hour period. And clearly, they would like to see some of this work be put towards career and tech ed. It isn't allowable within the grant, which is very unusual. They specifically named the Perkins Award, along with some other caveats of areas we could spend these funds and support work. So these are some of the ways that this funding could support career and tech ed, improving their curriculum, more hands-on experiences, access to industry-appropriate equipment, professional learning for teachers and staff. And so those would be some of the ways we could support career and tech ed in this program. Facility repairs and improvements, that's been named in all three of the grants. The idea that we really do need to provide clean air and filtration systems to keep the air clean. Other upgrades in our facilities, as well as providing custodial staff the ability to clean buildings in a deeper way and a more efficient way. So we have used both of our ESSER 1 and ESSER 2 on PPE. These funds will also be used to some degree on improving air quality. It seems like with ESSER 2, we improved a lot of portable air conditioning filtration, is that right? And we're going to expand, my understanding is we're going to expand that. Our hope is to expand that work as well. And so that would be our facilities and repairs. 38% of the responders said that that was important to them. Mental health, we hear this in the news a lot. Ms. Fogarty is here in the room. The idea that we really do need to invest in the mental health of our students and our staff as well. What people are facing when they go home in the afternoons, what kids are bringing to school with them. I know that you see it with some of the work that you do as a board. So some of the funds, I'm sure, will be allocated to mental health, 42% responding that that was important to them. It would include training, expanded counseling services, high-quality curriculum and materials. Ms. Fogarty and I have talked several times about the importance of this and how that really supporting kids so that they can go on to achieve at high levels academically. These are the special populations that were named in the grant and by the interim ruling that came from Washington, these groups that need to be supported. 20% said that this was important to them. What that might look like includes training for staff to work with students on the things they need. Manipulatives and adaptive devices can make a difference for those students as well. Technology, of course, in the event of another long-term closure, we know that we need devices for students to be able to use at home, as well as hotspots and access to the internet. We have systems that need to be addressed with our antiquated technology. Some of the projectors in the ceilings and some of those things, we need to look at that. All of those contribute to higher academic achievement and teachers being better equipped to do the work that they need to do. So technology is specifically named in the grant as well. And finally, workforce stabilization. We know that through the news, it's a nationwide trend. We see people that are leaving education, teachers that are really struggling, and hopefully through some of these opportunities for training to build people's capacity that we'll be able to stabilize the workforce with recruitment and retention as well. So the next steps. So what we'll do, we had about 600 or 700 actual comments that people made in the survey, which we were excited to see that. So we'll review those comments. We'll bring the specific departments that are named in the grant, Ms. Fogarty with Climate and Culture, Ms. Ellis and her facilities team, Mr. Karen, along with all the IT people, Ms. Tito and Mr. Daly with Academic Services, and Ms. Peckett. We'll bring all of those back together to really evaluate what their needs are. We'll evaluate the survey results, what we've heard from people. We'll develop the plan. The application is due on December 17th, which is next Friday, so we'll be in grant writing pretty much all week. I'd like to submit on Thursday so I can have a nice Friday, but we'll see how that goes. We hope to get the approval back. Usually they come in 2 weeks, but because it's so close to Christmas, I would expect to hear back by January 15th, and hopefully the work would start by the first week of February. Any questions?
Awesome, thank you so much.
What was the dollar amount you said that was
Oh.
tied to this?
It's just under 36 million. I have it. It's got a bunch of numbers. Let's see, 35. Well, I did have it.
Total of $35 million. $35 million. The charters will receive about 1.4 of those million, and the district will recover, will have about 33 million. The difference is the indirect costs.
Thank you for bringing this to us today, and do not miss that deadline.
We will not.
Okay, got it.
We will not. We do not miss the deadline. We
A
never.
directive.
We never miss a deadlines, ever. We don't.
That's what
The
you're so great
results of
at,
the
yes.
survey, the application, the RFA, all of those will be placed on the website in about a week or so. It all goes on the website, either at FDOE or here in the district, so everybody will be able to see all of that when we
That's
get to that
awesome.
point.
Thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
the update. Greatly appreciate it. Before I go any further, I failed in my earlier remarks to welcome the citizens of Clay County. And I'm supposed to do this, and I truly want to do this now because we do have one more presentation. I want to take this opportunity to thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedule to attend tonight's school board meeting. The meeting is our opportunity as your elected representatives to collaborate openly and make decisions that will decide the future direction of our public schools and the education of our children here in Clay County. If you wish to address the board, this was the important part I wanted to make certain that we shared. If you wish to address the board on an agenda item, there will be an opportunity to speak for 3 minutes. Please fill out a card, which you will find located in the back of the room, indicating the specific item number or topic you wish to speak about, and turn it in to Chief Wagner, who's sitting right over here. Just pick it up, raise it up over your head, and he will, I'm certain, come and pick it up from you. No additional cards will be accepted once the board moves to the public comments section, which will probably happen after our next presentation. Presentation from the audience, your participation is always welcomed and appreciated. Ms. Collins, it is so exciting to have you here tonight as our Principal of the Year, and we are now getting back to our school showcases as well. If you would come to the podium and share with us all of the wonderful things about Fleming Island Elementary.
All right, well, good evening. Good evening, Mr. Broski and members of the school board. Thank you for having me here tonight. I feel like it was kind of a Fleming Island night, Mr. Broski said, our chorus. And of course, we had a Founders Week winner. But I'm just very honored to be here tonight. I just want to say we have a great county, and being other places, I'm just truly blessed to be here in Clay County. And so I appreciate the daily opportunity. I love my school, I love this county, and being a part of it. So I am going to share a little bit about our school, which I know you all know already some about, but I'll try to share some little tidbits. And we tried to include a bunch of pictures in here so you can see what's going on. So this is actually our new logo. You'll see our Stingray guy. We were one of the first schools to get a new updated logo. And the communications department worked really hard for us and got feedback from stakeholders, from teachers, from our school staff to look at and see. So this is our new Stingray. And so we're excited that we have a Stingray now that is just, we can use on everything, a consistent Stingray, because we have a lot of different versions from the past 25 years. So we obviously are located in the Eagle Harbor neighborhood, and we have pre-K 3 through 6th grade. And we have approximately 750 students. It's myself and then Julie Dover, assistant principal. This is my 5th year at Fleming Island. It's hard to believe. And this is Ms. Dover's 3rd year there with me as well. We have several classrooms of students with autism there. And we have a full-time behavior psych coach. So this is our vision statement. I'm not obviously going to read it, but I did want to point out the fact that we just revised it this past year with input from a variety of our stakeholders, and it reflects our inclusive culture that we have and really work to build at our school, as well as our Cambridge program that I'll talk about in a few minutes, just those problem solvers and critical thinkers that we want our students to be. So we just celebrated our 25th anniversary. You heard our chorus sing the song that was actually sang at the dedication of the school 25 years ago. It was so funny. The kids actually asked me, because it was like Gloria Estefan wrote that song, right? And the kids were like, who is that? So, yeah. So there's a picture of the construction of the school, and there's a picture from today. So it was exciting. We had a great event. Several of you were able to attend. We had a huge alumni wall. We had about 150 former students submit pictures and where they were today. And we actually left that up on the next day too for the teachers to walk the students around so they could see all of the things that former students had done and kind of just some goals for themselves. And of course, our new logo was unveiled that evening as well. So we have lots of accomplishments. Obviously, I could stand up here all night and talk about all of the wonderful things that happen at FIE, but the thing that we're most proud of is that we were able to maintain our A grade this last year despite all of the challenges associated with COVID. We were able to maintain a very high level of reading and math proficiency. Also, our sensory room is one of our points of pride, with being the first research-based sensory room a few years ago, and I think maybe a couple of you came to the dedication of the sensory room. It is still going. Students still attend every day, so it's a great place for our students with disabilities. So here's some more pictures. Again, we really have embraced the 7 mindsets. We have a Standout Stingray program in which we recognize students each month. You can actually see behind the 2 teachers there with the Be Kind shirts on all the handprints on the wall, and they get to put their handprint on the wall each month if they're selected as a Standout Stingray, which is based on one of the 7 mindsets. We have become a Cambridge primary school and done a lot of work in that area. We're now K-6, and our kids engage in global learning perspectives. Each semester, they have a different project to do. It's a lot of research-based and requires them to be those critical thinkers. We have a lot of technology. We've worked really hard over the last few years to become almost one-to-one with our Chromebooks. And of course, our work with PBIS. We have 4 keywords that we live by: kind, respectful, responsible, and safe. And last year, we proudly were recognized as having the highest culture scores in the district. We have a very large military population. We actually have a full-time military family life counselor who works with us. She does individual and group sessions and lunch bunches with the students. And one of the most exciting things that we do, it's happy and it's sad, is our yellow ribbon. So when you see the yellow ribbons tied up around the campus, that means that we have a parent of a student deployed, and they put that ribbon up when the parent left. But then when they come home, it's really happy because they get to cut it down and celebrate that they're home from their deployment. So we also just brought the Anchored for Life program, which is a national program that helps with transition. When students move, they get a little kit, we have deployment kits, and those resources for students that are in the military. And of course, we have lots of extracurricular activities. You saw our chorus. Many of you have attended our drama presentations over the year. We're back at it this year, Moana Junior, so that'll be, I think, April 21st and 22nd. My daughter's in it this year, so my little one. But we do all the Girls on the Run and track, science fair club, lacrosse. We participate in math field day, so you can just see the variety of pictures. Our students are very active, and our teachers do a wonderful job supporting them in that area. We have great family and community involvement. We have lots of events that we participate in the community. There you see our recent activity at Your Pie, where the teachers got to serve gelato. That's always fun. And we try to do runs. We have established an ESC advisory council to work on that more inclusive environment at our school. So we go, that was a run from last year that we did, the Friends with Autism run downtown. So just different things. We have a great multi-tiered Partners in Education program, a very active PFA and SAC, as well as faith-based partnerships with local churches. So, of course, we've come a really long way. There's a lot of great work going on, but there's always opportunities there for growth. And so we continue to address students in our lowest 25%, our struggling students, to ensure that they're each making learning gains, looking at those individual students, making sure that we're providing differentiated activities for those students. And then also, we've been very busy with the new best standards for ELA and making sure that we're looking at those and implementing new curriculum. And then next year, we'll look forward to the same with the math best standards. And also our continued focus on science, especially in K-4, to ensure that our students have that solid foundation by the time they get to 5th grade and are assessed. So again, it's just an honor to be the principal at FIE. I enjoy coming to work every day. My youngest goes to school with me every day, and so it's just a great place. But it's a great place because of the teachers and the staff and the kids and our amazing families and community involvement. So again, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for allowing me to share more about FIE with you. And we did bring a little gift that we made for you all with our new logo on it. So you can't forget us. So you get your own FIE stationery with our new logo on it. And if you want more, we can make more too.
Thank you
But
so
thank you.
much.
Ms. Collins, if I could just say you do an awesome job there. The culture at Fleming Island Elementary is fantastic. I've been out there numerous times. I was at the 25th anniversary event, and you're right, they have no idea about songs from the 90s. Seem like we're really old, in comparison to others. I guess we are, right? But just a fantastic job. We appreciate your leadership, especially in tough times. And for your school to maintain an A during a pandemic is only indicative of the type of leadership that you provide. And of course, Julie, good AP, always fulfills the mission of the principal, right? So we appreciate what you do also. Thank you.
Thank you so much for being here tonight. And I hope your mom and dad got enough pictures. Good job. At this time, this is the last call for comment cards. If anyone has any additional comment cards that they would like to turn in to our chief, please raise your hands high. If not, then we will hear the comments. There are 2 people who are going to be speaking tonight. The first is Holly Haddock. Holly, when you come to the podium, if you would please give us your name and address. Thank you.
My name is Holly Haddock. My address is 116 Orion Road, Apartment B in Green Cove Springs, Florida. Good evening to all of you. I've emailed each of you, and I've spoken with you as well about the situation. So basically what happened, and I'm just going to paraphrase this as quickly as I can, I wanted to take a moment to discuss the incident that happened on October 11th on the school bus. My son was molested by another child and abused. I did not, the whole process was a nightmare for me. And my situation is I contacted the school the day that he got hit in the face, and my child didn't discuss the molestation part of it, so I did notify the school bus driver. She told me she was going to make a report. That never happened. I contacted the school, and they said that they would follow up with the bus driver. That never happened. I have had to chase people down in order to discuss this. I've had to state that I'm going to go to the media, that I'm going to do this, that, and the other thing, just to get somebody to listen, which is frustrating for me. And I understand investigation processes take a long time, all of that. However, the day that I found out was on the 17th. I reported it to the local sheriff's department, and I reported to the school on the 18th. Made a statement to the police department, contacted DCF. All of that was done. Now, I was told by the school that I would be getting a call the next day. That never happened. I contacted the school and was told by the principal's secretary that, oh, well, you contacted the police. That's probably why you didn't get a call back, which I felt was unprofessional. She might not have meant it that way in particular. And then when I finally got a call back from the vice principal, she stated that due to the police being involved, they were going to back off. And I was like, okay, all you had to do was call me and say, hey, police came by, we're working with him, we're going to help you out, we're going to figure this out. but that's not what happened. The video of the incident was not viewed until, what day was it? I believe it was October 28th. I reported it on the 18th. The video was not watched by anybody until the 28th. Talking to certain people during this investigation process, I felt like they were talking to me in a very condescending tone. I was told by the principal several times, let's be rational, let's be rational about this. If this was your child being touched inappropriately, where somebody stuck their hands down their pants and touched both back and front, how are you gonna really be rational? I have tried to be calm throughout this entire situation. I've tried to not get to a certain level. I've tried to talk to everybody with as much respect as I possibly can. And I was also told by people, well, what about their socioeconomic situation? They might not be able to find another ride to school because this child was still able to ride the bus. My child might not have been the first or last to be touched inappropriately. This child may have had other opportunities to do so. And on top of that, his eyes were peeled open with this child's fingers. And it was closed on November 1st. The criminal investigation, obviously the child is under 10 years old, so obviously no criminal charges, and that's not what I wanted. DCF told me today they're not gonna do anything because the parents have declined any services for that child.
Ms. Haddock, I'm sorry, you're out of time.
Okay,
Continue.
thank you so much, I really appreciate it. I understand, I was trying to make it as fast as I could. So basically, what I am asking all of you is, can we please get some sort of policy changes? Because it was a fight between who was going to handle it, school board, police, or the sheriff's department. If the bus is en route, it's supposed to be the sheriff's department. If the bus is stopped, it's supposed to be school board, police. The actual sheriff's office never watched the video, so how they handed it over to the school board police, I'll never know, because the bus was in motion when this was occurring. So my thing is maybe we need to change the policy to where, regardless, it's the school board police that handle situation involving incidents between students. I feel like that would be an appropriate response, and maybe we can find some way, some policy to change. Maybe the child who is the perpetrator is able to get some sort of therapy through the school, and I understand parental rights and all of that type of situation. However, at the same time, this could prevent further incidences. This could prevent that child from becoming way worse in the future. If that's what's going to happen, I don't know. But I also feel like there was not open communication at all. I feel like I was doing a lot of the legwork, and I feel like there should have been more of, like I said, open communication between me and everybody that was involved so that we could get the situation handled in not only a timely manner, because they didn't call me to tell me that disciplinary action had been handed down until November 7th. So I don't know if this is who I need to talk to, if I need to go higher, who I need to speak with to get some policy changes to not only help victims, but to help these children that either have seen it at home, had something happen to them at home, because that's 9 times out of 10 why these children do it. And I feel like we need to do better as a society to protect children in every shape, way, form, regardless of whether, and I understand, like I said, the child's very young, but we need better systems to help these children cope. So that's why I'm here today.
Thank you. Mr. Brodsky.
Good. Mr. Wine, if you can get her phone number for me so that I can call her after this, and then just follow up.
Okay,
And he will help you right behind you, right here.
thank you.
Thank you. Diana Toth.
Mrs. Bola, may I say
I'm
something?
sorry. Yes.
I would like the board, or us, I'd like us to look at our policy, exactly what she's talking about. And Mr. Brodsky, maybe you could have your staff look at it and see, is there anything we could do to adjust it to prevent this, or at least to help facilitate it in the future, if anything like this should? Thank you.
Mhm.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I think if I'm understanding rightly, it sounds like there were a lot of government agencies all trying to coordinate together, and it seems like that's where the downfall was. I don't know that it's necessarily our policy so much as it is. I mean, I don't know if you've dealt with DCF before, but that can be very difficult to navigate, and it's just, my heart goes out to you. I know we exchanged emails, and whatever we can do to assist, we'll definitely look into it from our side, but Um, uh, it's a shame. It's a shame.
Yes.
What
Thank
I
you.
said was we do
Thank
have
you.
to address it. Yes.
Ms. Toth, if you would share your name and your address, please.
My name is Diana Toth. My address is 4615 Plantain Avenue, Middleburg, 32068.
Thank you.
I'm here in regards to my grandson that I have guardianship over. I am raising him because his mother passed away 3 years ago, and I have had him at Clay Hill Elementary and requested for him to have a special pupil placement there because of him not dealing well with changes from VPK to kindergarten. So he was accepted. He had an IEP from VPK. It was renewed on September 1st. September 1st, I requested in the meeting for him to be reevaluated. From that point forward, I feel he was retaliated, and I was as well. His disability rights was violated according to the American Disability Act. And I know that it is absolutely true to that fact because I have filed a complaint with the Federal Education Department, and they are investigating at the moment in regards to it. A letter will be going out to me shortly. They've asked if I'd like to do mediation with the school and you guys, and I've requested that. But before that got to that point, I tried working with the teacher in a partnership. I had her phone number and cell number. She had mine. She was calling me nonstop, texting me, so forth. I had no problems with it. I told her anything she needed, I'd be there for. But his violation of his disability rights is not acceptable. When I reached out to the teacher to have a meeting with her, the principal joined us. I was happy to have that happen. That was not successful. I then reached out to Tina Bullock, and she helped me because I had put in more than 2 calls to the ESC department, was not receiving phone calls back. I put in a call to the superintendent requesting a meeting, and I was not receiving phone calls back either. And I went to him because I figured this involved more than one department, and I figured since he was the person that was in charge of all the departments, it was appropriate to approach him. Tina did help with that conversation, but I was not happy with that conversation with Mr. Broski, and he'll explain to you as well. Part of the reason being is, one, he said that he felt I was demanding a meeting. I have never demanded. I requested a meeting more than once. I would not demand a meeting. That's not appropriate, first of all. So him coming at me with that aggression was kind of disturbing. The second part is I said because of my grandson's different issues, he has ADHD, he has anxiety with stress level, he has delayed development and so forth, and we're still getting him evaluated for everything else, which is why I asked for the full evaluation. I was told by the superintendent that I could not be present when he is pulled from a class for on a disciplinary action, and I felt that wasn't appropriate because during one of the times that he was pulled from his class, 3 grown adults had a conversation with him and scared him to death. His anxiety that night was outrageous. Also, he has ADHD. I said that he could not have red dye at all at school. I know my minute's up, but I'm going to take a couple seconds. I told them that he couldn't have it. The principal asked me to put in writing. I did. Shortly afterwards, I gave him money for ice cream. There's nothing wrong with ice cream because not all ice cream has red dye in it. They gave him ice cream with red dye. I had no way of knowing till after he had got home where he had been put in school suspension again, a 6-year-old, because he was misbehaving because he had a reaction to the red dye. When I called the teacher and told her about it, she said, "Oh, I was wondering why he had been that bad. He's never been that bad." He was still bouncing at 8:30 at night. So what do I do when I go up the chain of command and I can't even speak to the main person that's trying to help or that could help me with all the situations? That's what I'm frustrated about. I went the chain of command. I tried doing all of it. And when I got absolutely nowhere, I had to go hire 2 attorneys. And that's where we're at now. That shouldn't be. I shouldn't went through that. My grandson shouldn't went through that. And no parent or guardian should go through it, or a child. My grandson was coming home crying constantly. He was scared he was going to get pulled out of class every single day. That's ridiculous.
It's my understanding that he's in another school now.
Yes, ma'am, he is. He was kicked out of his school. The pupil placement was pulled because of his in-school suspensions, which he should not have got one for the red dye at all. I've also requested an appeal in regards to those in-school suspensions, and I've had nobody respond to my request for a hearing on those.
Thank you.
My attorney has requested it as well. No response from the school attorney in regards to it.
Thank
So
you,
what do I do when nobody responds? Something's got to change. It's not just me. I've put blogs out there, you guys know, and there's a lot of other people having the same issues with IEPs.
Thank you, Ms. Toth.
Thank you.
Okay. At this time, oh, I'm sorry. Oh, got it. Sorry. I thought you were stopping something. There we go. At this time, we are going to, I welcome a motion to adopt the consent agenda. And before we go to that, just a point that C17 was withdrawn, and C11 for the bid renewals, we struck that, I guess is what I'm trying to say. That will be coming back on the January 6th meeting agenda. So, do I hear a motion to approve the consent agenda?
I'll move approval.
Ms.
I'll second.
Karakis moved,
I'll second.
and Ms. Gilhausen seconded it. Is there any discussion? With no further discussion, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The consent agenda has been approved. Okay. The next item on our agenda, I don't believe we will have a CCA update at this point. Is there anyone here from CCEA? Okay, and it's my understanding that Mr. Roberts isn't here this evening, so we will not have a CESPA update. So next is our superintendent's update and presentation.
Awesome. Well, that's getting loaded. First, let me just say that I'm saddened to hear that, Mrs. Toth, and you coming here, and my apologies to you that you felt like you needed to come here. You know, Clay County District School prides itself on providing good customer service to parents and to students, and you apparently don't feel like good customer service was given to you relative to this situation. You know, just to clarify, you know, being able to come to meet with your child and the administrator, that absolutely can happen. The point, though, that was trying to be made, that it might not be able to be made at that second, right? But eventually there could be a meeting right after that. And that was the point that I was trying to make there. And, you know, I became, you know, very concerned because, you know, in 32 years, I don't want to say I'm batting 1,000, but I'm pretty close to 1,000 when it comes to the customer service industry. So it really does concern me. It concerns me with some of the things that I've read and libelous types of statements out there. So much so that I went ahead and did a little bit of research as to whether we are in fact providing any customer service to you. And what I found was that over the course of 80 school days, we have about 97 communications by email, 101 phone calls, either incoming or outgoing types of communications. You know, it's clear to me that district personnel care about your child, and I, for one, certainly want to make it right. And so if you do want to meet and you want to hold me up to that, I'm good with that. I've got parent meetings tomorrow, as a matter of fact. I do have 2 spots, 11 or 12, and 11 o'clock it is then. Yes, ma'am. But you know, the point that I would like to make to you is that there's a whole team of people attempting to help. You know, it's not one person that runs a district, believe it or not. We've had 2 board members involved to help you out. We've had the chief academic officer under my direction to kind of run point man to kind of help you out with all the issues that have occurred. The chief of elementary education, the director of exceptional student education, 2 current principals, 2 staffing specialists, 2 teachers, and even the school board attorney has been involved. Yeah, ma'am, we're going to meet.
Excuse me,
We're going to
you
meet
need to
tomorrow. I'm just trying to point out that there's a whole team of
Excuse me?
people trying to
He's-
help you.
He's responding to your comments from
Yeah, I'm
earlier.
trying.
Thank you.
And we're
No,
gonna
it's not a
meet
back and
tomorrow.
forth at this point.
But I just would encourage you to work with all the personnel. I've even been out to the school this week. Okay.
Ms. Toth, I'm
I'll be-
sorry, you're done with your 3 minutes at this point,
Okay.
and I hate to be direct, but I have to be.
And just would encourage you to be positive with.
And the meeting will have,
Yes,
Mr.
yes, ma'am.
Brodsky, there's a meeting tomorrow at
Yeah,
11?
yeah, I'll be glad to discuss all of those issues at that time, Ms. Toth, if that's okay with you. All right, so, one of the things I did want to point out, just to provide some context when it comes to numbers, is really the incidents that you hear. If you take 40,000 students and you take the fact that each student comes in contact with at least 6 adults during a day on average, okay? And you times that by 180 days, that's 43,200,000 possibilities that things not go the way that they should go. Now, I have 43 million, so I'm very thankful that it's a small group of situations that need to be addressed, and I'll be glad to address that one also. So just a couple quick things. I know December is traditionally the Christmas month, and usually there's no heavy business, during Christmas because everybody's trying to get into Christmas mode and all of that. So I promise I narrowed it down to 47 slides from the normal 52. Now, actually, I have very few slides. Want to kind of recognize our schools of the month. Our school of the month, Lake Asbury Elementary School and Lakeside Junior High School. That was for family engagement. We're very, very proud of them. As we move into, there is none for December, but for January, it's lifetime literacy. So go on to our website and vote for your school, and we'll be glad to celebrate them also. Just a couple winter break reminders. The last day of the second semester is Friday, December 17th. Winter break is Monday, the 20th through January 2nd. I know teachers out there are all celebrating and looking forward to that. Teacher Planning Day is Monday, January 3rd. Students return back to campus on the 4th, and district offices are closed from the 24th through December. Just want to take the opportunity to wish everybody a happy holiday, a Merry Christmas, and a Happy New Year. If I don't see everybody, this is a good time for reflection and to be thankful for the many things that we have, the many blessings that we have in our district in particular. And I thank the board for their support, like always, and hopefully we'll have some good news from Green Cove about today's festivities soon. I've gotten a couple texts, but the jury's still out, so thank you so much.
Thank you. At this point, we're going to move to the public hearing to approve as advertised a school board resolution. And I am first going to read the resolution so that, I'm sorry.
If I could, I forgot one thing.
Oh,
I hate to
absolutely.
interject. We do have somebody whose last meeting is today.
Oh,
Been with the district for a long period of time and a critical role as we've grown as a district too. And Jim Fossa, if you could stand up. This is Jim Fossa's last board meeting, so let's give him a big round of applause and recognize his. Thank you for all the hard work you do, and his replacement is Lance Addison. And I said, do they have to all look alike? Over there, Bryce. I mean that in a complimentary way, of course.
thank you, Mr. Fossa, for all you've done for us. It has truly been a treat working with you, most definitely. Moving on to the school board resolution renumbering the school board member districts. This is a resolution of the School Board of Clay County, Florida, adopting a plan for the renumbering of the 5 district school board member residence areas, finding that the school board has the authority pursuant to its home rule powers to renumber its member residence districts within the parameters of Florida Statute 1001.36. Finding that such changes will result in bringing all member areas of both the school board and the county commission into approximation of numerical alignment, finding that the renumbering of the member residence areas will simplify matters for voters and providing an effective date. Whereas Florida Statute 1001.36 requires that each school district shall be divided into a minimum of 5-member residence districts, which shall be numbered 1 to 5 inclusive, and whereas there are concerns among the school board members that the school board member residence districts are numbered differently from the corresponding districts of the members of the Board of County Commission, and that those differences result in voter populace confusion, and whereas district school boards are vested with home rule powers, which authority is set forth in Florida Statute 1001.32(2), which reads that district school boards may exercise any power except as expressly prohibited by the state constitution or general law. And whereas absent any specific prohibition which bars the school board's action herein, the school board, acting within its home rule powers, may renumber its own member residence districts. Now therefore be it resolved by the School Board of Clay County, Florida, that 1, the Clay County School Board member residence districts are hereby renumbered as follows. A, School Board District 1 shall remain District 1. B, School Board District 2 shall be renumbered as District 3. C, School Board District 3 shall be renumbered as District 4. And D, School Board District 4 shall be renumbered as District 2, with E, School Board District 5 remaining District 5. Number 2, pursuant to Article 9, Section 4 of the Constitution of the State of Florida, the school board members for each of the 5 renumbered districts shall continue to be chosen by vote of the electors in a nonpartisan election for appropriately staggered terms. The staggering of said terms shall continue in the same order as they have in the past. Candidates for school board office for districts renumbered as 1, 4, and 5, formerly numbered 1, 3, and 5 respectively, would be on the election ballot on even-numbered years not divisible by 4. For example, 2022, 2026, 2030, etc. And those for districts numbered 2 and 3, formerly districts 4 and 2 respectively, would be on the election ballot in even-numbered years divisible by 4. For example, 2024, 2028, and 2032. Number 3, the action taken by the school board is set forth in numbered paragraph 1 serves to renumber the board member residence districts such that they are an approximate match to those of the corresponding county commission districts, thereby bringing all member areas of both board and commission, which are composed of similar geographical areas, into numerical alignment. Number 4, the effective date for implementing the renumbering set forth herein shall be December 30th, 2021. Number 5, the school board hereby directs the chairman and the secretary to A, record the resolution in the office of the clerk of circuit court, 4th Judicial Circuit in and for Clay County, Florida. B, publish this resolution at least once in a newspaper published within the district within 30 days after adoption. And C, transmit a certified copy to the Clay County Supervisor of Elections. And hopefully we will duly adopt this and approve this today, which is the 9th day of December, 2021, by the School Board of Clay County, Florida. Having read the resolution being proposed, I now open the public hearing. Seeing no one coming forward, I will close the public hearing. I will entertain a motion to have for approval for this resolution.
I'll move approval.
Ms. Gelhausen has moved approval.
I'll second it.
Ms. Clark has seconded it. Discussion. Not hearing any discussion.
Oh, Mrs. Bull,
Oops, I'm sorry.
I do have some discussion.
Okay.
I'm kind of curious. I know you read the resolution, which has a bunch of explanations, which I do find very confusing. But I'd like to know your rationale, what you think, why you brought this.
Basically, to keep us, to bring us into alignment with the county commission and the district numbers. Knowing that the county commission by law cannot change their district numbers. And that was recommended early on when we had this discussion. If I'm not mistaken, both you and Ms. Bullock said specifically to let them change their district numbers if anybody wants to change. And after reviewing it and understanding that Normally, people don't come to us and say, hey, I know I'm District 4 for the school board and District 2 for the county commission. We're not necessarily the people that run into this. I spoke to a number of people, including the county commission and the supervisor of elections. And when people move to our county, which is happening by the droves at this stage of the game, it is incredibly confusing to people when they ask, now wait a second, so if I live in your district, I'm the same as the county commission, but I live in your district, I'm not. And Ms. Clark went through this during her election most recently because her county commission was being elected under a different district number as the school board member. It's confusing. And I've always wondered why we did it this way. I am in the mode where I don't necessarily like, let's do it this way because we've always done it this way. This particular year, more than any other year, gives us the opportunity to bring those numbers in alignment with each other. And since the Board of County Commissioners is not allowed by law to change their numbers, we are. And there are 3 of us that have the opportunity to change our numbers.
Right.
And I, for one,
A-
am in
and I
favor
get
of
what
it.
you're saying. I can count to 3. I'm wondering, have we looked into the cost? Is there, to replace everything that has our names and numbers on it, what will that expense be?
I did talk with Dr. Legutko about it somewhat. I talked with Ms. Honor about it. And it's interesting, most of what we have right now, for instance, name tags, we will have to replace these nameplates. We'll have to replace 3 tags, just 3 of them.
Our name tags here.
Are 3 name tags. In fact, the name tag that I use doesn't even have my district
Mine
on
does
it.
have it.
And we can replace that. The cost in the long run is probably, I don't know, I could probably guesstimate a cost of maybe, does Katie does our logo or our stationery?
25,000 it was.
Trudy does that now, so we have that
What was
in-house.
25,000?
So basically, it's going online.
Just the logo was 25,000?
Excuse me, we're going online and replacing the logo on our stationery, which is on the computer.
Right, so
if
what
I'm
about
not
everything that's
mistaken.
already printed that gets thrown out?
Is there a lot that's printed already, or do we print it as we go? Okay, so, yeah.
I don't know, I've heard, we've
It's-
gone around
To
and
me,
I've
it's a
heard it, but
minimal cost that we can do now. And, there are organizations, I know when we redid our logo, Katie and Katie stepped up and helped us do a number of the logo designs.
I
So
just look at this as, I've not had one phone call, one email, and I've been on the board 11 years, and I've had maybe 1 or 2 people say, now, what are the different numbers? But I think our voters are smart enough to know what districts they are. They get a sample ballot. It tells you exactly who you're voting for, what districts you're in, and it has the name of the people that you're voting for. So I don't find this to be confusing at all. I realize that you 3 of you have already made up your mind, and it's a done deal. So I see the writing on the wall. I feel like this is just so, it's not necessary. I think, I personally like that it's even and odd each time we vote. This next coming cycle, it's 1, 3, and 5. The next cycle, it's 2 and 4. But, that's my piece on it. I don't think this is necessary at all.
And we're separate government entities. They're in charge of roads and infrastructure, and we're in charge of schools. So it's not like we're having to be in line. Plus, we're elected countywide, so they're single-member districts. So when our name's on the ballot, everybody gets to vote for us. So it's not really necessary that they know. In fact, most of our emails come to Clay County School Boards, to all of us. It doesn't just come to individual ones typically, So I'm not in favor of it. I just think it's unnecessary.
it's interesting that you said that we're separate entities. And I'm thinking to the last topic that we're going to be dealing with in D6 to look at the district realignment and how for the past 10 years ago, and I'm going to even go with 20 years ago probably, from the history that I've heard from our board members, from county commissioner members, from people in the supervisor of elections office, how we did not coordinate. We did not collaborate. And that offends me.
It's not
As
that
a
we
member,
didn't collaborate.
I-
Are you saying the
I-
school board didn't collaborate?
No, I
Because
did
was here
not
10
say
years
that.
ago.
I said that we as two groups didn't collaborate. I didn't say it was our fault.
All right. It
And I
was-
didn't say we.
I'm not blaming anyone.
Okay.
What I'm trying to say is that we have collaborated in this effort.
Mm-hmm.
We have collaborated with the whole district alignment beautifully.
I think
And it's one of those things that I'm thinking, well, let's take it the next step and for the population of Clay County, say, hey, we want to work together. If we work together, we're stronger.
Right.
If we decide to be two separate governmental entities, we're going to be as strong as we can be individually. When we come together, we're stronger as a team.
I think that's a great point, Ms. Bola, and I think it really reflects in some of the comments that we heard tonight when there's a lack of coordination between agencies. It doesn't serve the public well. And I think this does give a strong imagery to the public that we represent that we want to be accessible and we want to work together.
Well, we are accessible.
And I said we
This
were.
has nothing to do with us being accessible or not. The numbers, the lines, the boundary, we're all accessible. And every one of us return emails, we return phone calls, we stop and talk to people whenever there's a need. So this really doesn't have anything to do with how accessible we are.
Well,
At
I
all.
think it's not that we're not accessible, but it's the impression to the public that when they go to figure out who their school board member is and who their county commissioner is, it's confusing. And maybe you haven't received that complaint, but I have many times gotten the email. The first line is, I don't know if you're my school board member or not, but here's my problem. And, you know, I think it's just, this is a message we can send very clearly to the public that we want to make this as easy for you as possible, that we want, and that's what I mean by accessibility, not that we're not responding to
I thought you
messages.
were going
No.
somewhere else with that.
No, no,
Oh,
not
no,
at
no.
all.
No.
All right.
And I basically, my comment was not that we weren't collaborating, it was that we have we have certain responsibilities that we're in charge of schools, and they have certain responsibilities that are not the same, obviously, so.
Sure, but sometimes those issues can touch each other. I mean,
Well, we could say that about any of the government agencies, I guess.
Yeah,
I mean, you know.
That's true.
So
Absolutely.
that could be true for any of them.
Any further discussion?
I think it's a great opportunity. Way overdue. Way overdue. Anyway, I'll just have to yell. I did while campaigning, because you're in one, so it's the same. But in my district, I mean, we've got 3/5 of the districts that are not the same. And it is very confusing for new people. And the question came up all the time, and in fact, with it on the agenda, now that people have seen it on the agenda, I've had a lot of people say, yay, it's about time, why have we never done this before? So I think it's a great opportunity. Anyway, that's it. This isn't working.
Thank you. Any further discussion? On that note, let us vote. It's been moved by Ms. Gilhousen and second by Ms. Clark to approve as advertised a school board resolution renumbering the school board member districts. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed?
No.
Opposed?
The vote is 3-2. The vote carries. There are no human resource special actions. We have, moving on, we are opening the public hearing to approve as advertised attendance boundary realignment for Oak Leaf High School and Orange Park High School. At this point, the public hearing has been opened, yes. So if you would like to come to the podium, please do so. Once again, in public hearings, we ask that you list your name and address so that we have it on the record. And also, we still have the 3-minute time.
Okay, hi, I'm Marie Nemec. I spoke with all of you, I think, through email. We just moved to the area. My address currently is 3123 Old Sutton Park Drive. I'm trying to memorize it still. Orange Park, and then I think it's 32073. I'm still learning the address here. And then we're actually building in Wilford Preserve, and that's what's going to be rezoned. So I think my concern was that when we first moved here, we checked out Oakleaf Junior High and High School and saw that they were really good schools, and we were moving here based on that. And then now that the kids are switching, the schools are a little bit, I kind of have been researching, and I've seen that they're not as good as Oakleaf Junior High and High School, so I feel like we're kind of downgrading. So I don't know, I just have some concerns with that. And then there's been some like fighting. I've heard like fights there and different like unsafe things going on. So I don't know, I just want to make sure that if my kids are going to be switching schools, that they're safe there. But I don't know much about the area, so I'm still learning. So I'm still open, I guess. So that's all I wanted to say. So nice to meet you.
Thank you. Further comments?
Hi there, I'm Jessica Horn. I live in 2874 Spoonbill Drive. This is my 4th time here as a parent, coming and trying to fight for this. I'm just here saying, I hope you guys can all just think about the rezoning, about the schools. I understand that some parents have said Oakleaf is amazing and Orange Park is horrible. But me as a parent, I don't know anything about Orange Park. I wish that you all would have provided us parents more information besides just going to the school and seeing what we saw. We don't know more about Orange Park Junior High or Orange Park High School. We are zoned for Oakleaf, so we do know lots of information about the Oakleaf schools. My daughter currently attends Oakleaf Junior High, and so she has the option to either go to Orange Park next year or go and stay at Oakleaf. But a lot of parents don't know that they are able to stay at Oakleaf, that they are able to stay at Oakleaf and make a decision by a certain date, because no letters have been sent out. I know because I was there at the meeting at the Orange Park, but other parents do not know. I wish you guys would have provided just more information to other parents without, us all talking about social media, and the school hasn't even sent out anything yet. And I still never got a letter about all this. And I just wish you guys would have just provided us more information. I understand the zoning, I understand the school capacity, I've been doing my resource, and I've thought about different things about how someone has told me, would you rather be in a classroom with 30-something students or 17 or 18? My daughter was in the pre-ACE program at the Oakleaf, and now she is no longer. She's in the advanced program, just doing advanced classes. That's her choice that she decided to do that. But she noticed the difference how she was like, Mom, my pre-ACE classes were smaller. I like that one-on-one more better than being in the classroom when they have 30-something kids. So I do understand you guys have to make a difficult decision. I still want my daughter to go to Oakleaf. I still want our kids to go to Oakleaf. And I'm trying to, as a parent, try to wish you guys would have told me more information. If you guys can provide us more information, even here, that parents at home are watching, it'd be great. Give us more information about the schools, about the education, about what programs. I just found out the other day that I didn't know what Orange Park Junior High has classes there that you can take for high school and get high school credits. I didn't know that. I did my own research, but other parents aren't doing that. So I wish you guys could just provide us with more information. Sorry, thank you.
Thank you, thank you. Any further comment during our public comment? At this point, I'm going to close the public comment and ask for a motion to approve as advertised attendance boundary realignment for Oak Leaf High School and Orange Park High School.
I'll move approval.
Ms. Gilhousen has moved approval, and Ms. Clark has seconded it. Discussion?
I have some.
Mhm.
When we had the first meeting at Orange Park High School, I had asked Ms. Ellis, and I mentioned it to you, Mr. Broski, if there was a way of looking at the lines of leaving the Argyle area in Oak Leaf and looking at the bottom part of Oak Leaf High School and send them over to Ridgeview. You're nodding your head, Mrs. Ball. You must have heard me ask that. And nothing came back about it. And I was, I really hope that you would have been able to find a different way of doing this to leave that Argyle community in Oak Leaf as part of their community and shift around into Ridgeview, and then part of Ridgeview could go up to Orange Park. And I just feel like we could have looked more and looked at different ways other than just taking Argyle, that one part of Argyle, and moving it.
So I'll go ahead with the preface that you can join in anytime that you want to. We did do that, and in fact, some of those students in the next one are going down.
I
And
realize
really,
that.
when you look at it, the next one up is like Eagle Landing, which clearly is Oak Leaf High School, not. So we feel like we've done that and kind of carved off all of that attendance zone to go down to Ridgeview that we could
And
could
if we
carve
had,
out.
if we had moved some Ridgeview kids up to Orange Park and moved more, was there another neighborhood or two that we could have moved down?
I think that's what he's saying.
Yeah.
I
Eagle
understand.
Landing
I'm
would
just
have been
asking
the-
if it could have gone one step further.
I don't believe so, based on the geography of that area and the subdivisions that are there, the ones that are scheduled to go to Oak Leaf versus the ones that are scheduled to go to Ridgeview.
I agree with that, and I do remember you saying it, and at the time, I don't know if we had had all of the information about the neighborhoods that we were moving to Ridgeview at that
We
time
did.
as well.
We had it then.
And then, but I knew that we were moving them. Just driving up to, I drove to Discovery Oaks yesterday. And there really is, you see specific neighborhoods on either side of the highway as you're driving up. And until you get to, and it's almost like you said, it's like this line of neighborhoods. It's frustrating. I was at Argyle this morning, and I had a teacher who happens to be a mom come up to me and said, in the last meeting, you said that it broke your heart. And I said, it truly does, because I know those kids, and I know the families there. And it's incredibly frustrating because I also know how overcrowded Oak Leaf High School is. And I know that they have been asking us as a board for years now to make some changes. And I'll say it, I stuck my heels in the ground last year when you were all asking us to make that change then. And I said, nope, not Argyle. And I don't know what more we can do at this point. And this is one of the most difficult decisions that we will be making. And there will be more difficult decisions in the near future. Any other discussion?
No.
Okay. It has come to the point where sorry. It has been moved by Ms. Gilhousen and seconded by Ms. Clark to approve as advertised attendance boundary realignment for Oak Leaf High School and Orange Park High School. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Aye. All opposed?
No.
That was, Ms. Carrica said no?
That's right.
Okay. The vote is 4-1. With that vote made, and I know that there are a number of parents right now watching from Argyle, I strongly, strongly recommend and beg, I guess, in more specific terms, that you help your children make this transition the best transition that they possibly can have, a positive transition. And I know that there are a number of folks that are working on this already, that they are building up those relationships in Oak Leaf Junior High with the kids who are moving over to Orange Park Junior High. This gives a lot of students the opportunity to build a whole new relationship with a whole nother group of students. And I know that in the long run, that hopefully this will be a very positive change for the schools as well as for the children.
Mrs. Bowler, we
Thank
should
you.
move on.
We will. I took a moment to just share those words. Thank you. At this point, we will open the public hearing the public hearing to approve as advertised attendance boundary realignment for Oak Leaf Junior High and Orange Park Junior High Schools. Any further comment? You need to come to the podium. Thank you.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
you skipped over number 25.
The one about Oakleaf and Ridgeview,
Oh, I did. I'm sorry.
D4.
Need to go back to D4? Thank you. So we're on D4, excuse me, we're on D5 right now. Continue, thank you.
Oh, that's okay. I didn't know what she was saying about the meeting at was it Orange Park High School? I just moved to the area, so I'd like, if you guys can give us more information, that would be great, because I had no idea about that. So that's all I'm asking, is if we can have more information, because I don't know much about Oak Leaf and the combination of them together and how things correlate. So, and then my son's in band and things like that. So I was gonna ask that too, like, he started at Oak Leaf Junior High in the middle of the year, and then now he's gonna go over to Orange Park High School, and then I have a 6th grader at Argyle going to Orange Park Junior High. So how does band, because they're thinking that he's gonna go to Oak Leaf High School, my oldest. So do things correlate with band, or how do I deal with that, I guess?
Yes, ma'am, they have a band program at Orange Park High School, but what
Right.
I suggest doing is I'm going to ask Mr. Addison. Mr. Addison, raise your hand. If you can get her phone number and call her and give her the video of the meeting that we had and all of the information to make sure that you're up to speed and answer any questions you might have.
That would be great. Okay.
Mr. Broski, once this is finalized,
We'll be sending letters out to everybody affected again
That-
in the spring to make sure that it'll come from their new home school.
and could we also offer an open house night at Orange Park Junior and Orange Park High School for those new students so that they can get oriented to the new building,
Sure, I
learn
think
about the
we can.
programs available, kind of a showcase and an opportunity for them to kind of have the school to themselves to learn their new campus and acclimate a little bit.
I
and
think that's a
move
great
together.
idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any further comment for the public hearing? Not hearing anyone come forward. I'm closing the public hearing. And I will accept a motion, pardon me, to approve as advertised attendance boundary realignment for Oak Leaf Junior High and Orange Park Junior High Schools.
I'll move approval.
Ms. Gelhausen moved approval. Ms. Clark seconded. Any discussion?
I think just to piggyback on what you said, Ms. Bola, it's such a testament to the quality of instruction and relationships that students have with their respective schools at Oak Leaf Junior High and High School that, it's hard to leave. And I think that it's my hope and prayer that the families that are affected by this will see this as an opportunity to grow and look for the silver lining, so to speak. I'm proud of all of our schools in Clay County, and that includes Orange Park High School and Orange Park Junior High. There's a wealth of opportunity there for the students who are fortunate enough to attend those schools. And I hope that we can look at this as an opportunity. And, opportunities come with challenge, but it's all about how you approach it.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Totally agree. Any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
No.
Vote carries 4-1. Going back to D4, correct, Mr. Bickner? I'm opening the public hearing to approve as advertised attendance boundary realignment for Oakleaf High School and Ridgeview High School. If anyone has a comment to make, please come forward. Not seeing anyone coming forward, I'm going to close the public hearing. I'll entertain a motion to approve as advertised attendance boundary realignment for Oakleaf High School and Ridgeview High School.
I'll move approval.
Ms. Gilhausen moves approval. Ms. Clark seconds it. Any discussion?
May I just say that obviously none of us want to do any of this. That's,
I think you hit that nail on the head.
Very difficult to vote on this. We can say, well, St. John's does this every year, but that doesn't help those of us in Clay.
Right.
But the fact is, we do have great schools. And Orange Park is in my area. I think the only problem I have is, why did we move them? Why did we change it in the first place? I have a problem with that, because we need to have foresight for what's coming down the road. And we know Orange Park cannot grow anymore. Oakleaf is continuing to grow, and it's going to continue to grow to the south. And Ridgeview is going to be affected as well. So we're going to have to make tough decisions, but it's tough. But we're blessed with two new principals at both Orange Park Junior and Orange Park High School. So very dedicated. That's it.
Thank you. Any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Introducing the item to approve as advertised school board member district realignment. Resolution of the School Board of Clay County, Florida, adopting a plan for the redistricting of the 5 district school board member residence areas, finding that such changes are necessary to distribute the population of Clay County as equal as possible in each district, defining the boundaries of each of the 5 districts, providing an effective date. Whereas Section 1001.36 Florida statutes confers upon the School Board of Clay County, Florida, the authority to make any change in the boundaries of any school board member residence area which it deems necessary, and whereas Section 1001.36 Florida statutes requires that school board member residence areas be, as nearly as practical, equal in population, and whereas the 10-year census has demonstrated the populations of the 5-member residence areas are unequal, and whereas a plan for redistricting has been submitted to the board, the approval of which plan has been recommended by the superintendent of Clay County District Schools, whereas the school board held a public hearing on the date of adoption hereof to consider the recommendation of the superintendent to approve the proposed redistricting plan, to receive public comment thereon, and to consider any alternative plan submitted by members of the public, and whereas the school board desires to approve and adopt a plan for redistricting of the 5 district school board member residence areas as hereinafter provided, and to provide directions with respect thereto. Now therefore be it resolved by the School Board of Clay County, Florida, that Section 1 findings, the school board hereby finds that the plan for redistricting the 5 district school board member residence areas approved and adopted by virtue hereof, A, is based entirely upon the 2020 post-census total population figures for Clay County, Florida, supplied by the United States Census Bureau. B, results in district populations that are as nearly equal as practical and possible. C, provides for an overall range of district populations not in excess of 10%, to wit, 6.4%. D, utilizes significant geophysical and geopolitical features for district boundaries, such as water bodies, railroad, major roadways, and municipal county boundaries. E, avoids use of section, township, range, or other survey lines not readily apparent in the field. F, avoids irregular and oddly shaped districts in favor of logically and uniformly shaped districts. And G, complies with the requirements of Florida general law, the Constitution of the State of Florida, the Voting Rights Act, and the Constitution of the United States. Section 2, adoption of plan. The school board hereby formally adopts the plan for redistricting of the 5 district school board member residence areas as shown on the map attached here to as Exhibit A, the 5 districts being more particularly described in Exhibit B attached here too. Section 3, directions. The school board hereby directs the board chair and secretary to 1, record this resolution in the office of the clerk of circuit court, 4th Judicial Circuit, and in and for Clay County, Florida. 2, publish this resolution at least once in a newspaper published in the district within 30 days after adoption. 3, transmit a certified copy of this resolution to the Department of State. Section 4, effective date. The resolution shall become effective immediately upon its adoption. And hopefully it will be duly adopted this 9th day of December 2021 by the School Board of Clay County, Florida. Having read the resolution being proposed, I now open the public hearing. Not seeing anyone come to the podium, I close the public hearing. And I will entertain a motion.
I'll move approval.
Ms. Gilhausen has moved approval. Is there a second?
I second.
Ms. Bullock has seconded. The motion is to approve as advertised school board member district realignment. Discussion?
This is where I think it's appropriate for collaboration. I don't think making our numbers matching was what we should have done. Very simple.
Anyone else? Hearing no further discussion, I call the question, or sorry, let's vote. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries 5-0. And as a reminder, these will need signatures following the meeting so that we can make those time appropriate. School board attorney remarks. Mr. Bickner. Thank you. School board member remarks. Ms. Gilhausen, would you like to go first?
Sure, I'll keep it brief. I just want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas. I hope everybody gets to spend some downtime at home with the people you love.
Ms. Bullock?
First of all, I'd just like to thank Ms. Honora. I tell you, to keep everything straight and to make sure we get all the changes and all of that, I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for that. I was able to attend several things at Keystone Elementary. I was participating in their awards program and also a Veterans Day ceremony, which our K-Kids put on, which is a little group of from Kiwanis, so they did a great job. Also, I went to the high school play at Keystone. They did a spoof on Shakespeare. They made Shakespeare funny, so that was good. And then I formed a group in 2020 called Friends of Keystone Heights High School, and I just received a grant that I gave to them last month for $750. So anyway, that's it. And Fleming Island Elementary, the 25-year was wonderful, having all the alumni listed and posted. You went and thought, golly, all these people went there, so it was good day. Thank you.
I'd just like to congratulate our Teachers of the Year, our Support Employees of the Year, our Principal of the Year, Jennifer Collins, and Assistant Principal Tyler Woods. It's remarkable. Hard to choose, I'm sure, because we really have the best of the best. And as you were talking about our schools and how hard redistricting is, there's not a bad school in the district. And they should all be so proud of themselves. Our teachers, our support employees, our principals, everybody, they work collaboratively, as you said, and they work so hard to make us this great district that we are. And we're an A district, and it's because of all the work that goes into it. And I'm just so proud to be a part of it. And so I just want to congratulate all of our people. We had a good time out in FSBA for some professional development. It's amazing when you get out there and you go to those breakout sessions and the topics that they cover. And one that several of us attended, it was take your meds. And it was really important for your well-being. And remember, the speaker said, I want you all to take your meds. Meditate, eat healthy, diet, meditate, exercise, diet, and sleep. And really, truly, those are so important. And I think we're so busy running around with everything that we do. And we do different things, but I know every one of us is very busy that, we might be going on a few hours sleep and we might be, grabbing whatever to eat, and just to have that time to really focus on your mind and your body. Really, it hit home, because then there was a breakout session also that I went to, and it was almost the same thing. So there was a lot of really good information there on public records and curriculum and funding, and they covered the whole gamut of information for professional development. And I'm glad to have been able to attend it. And something I don't know if you've all have realized, but the Board of Directors and then general membership voted to leave the National School Board Association. I'm sure you all got an email on that. And so I'm really grateful. I am on the Board of Directors, and I'm glad that we have separated from that. So on that note, I'd just like to wish everybody a happy holiday, and please be safe, enjoy your family, and happy holidays.
Ms. Clark? Can you turn your mic on again?
Let me try. That worked. No.
Just don't touch the button.
It's having problems.
But we can hear you.
Good.
She's afraid to get too close to it.
No. It's a spider. No.
It's okay.
No. It's fine. It comes and goes. Anyway, it's been a great first year for me, and we truly are very blessed to have the staff that we do. Obviously, there's some areas that we still need a lot of work in, and we all realize it. So we're going to be continuing that on, and this year has been very interesting, and I know next year will be even more interesting. But I think we do, just as you were saying, Ms. Gilhousen, about being positive. Our parents need to be positive about the changes coming. If we can do that in everything that we do, it'll make such a difference for our students. So, thank you.
It seems like the November 4th meeting, or whatever date it was forever ago, since we didn't have our workshop. And I really missed the workshop. So next Tuesday, we have one. I'm so excited. Yes. Make it good, all right? There you go. Since that time, it's been, December is always very busy, and it's amazing how much schools pack into the time between the beginning of November and the end of December. Kudos to the CTE department and their self-evaluation event that some of us went to. They held it with all of the high schools, and the goal setting and the plans for the students and the decisions made leading to those goals was awesome. Middleburg High had a ribbon cutting at their new FFA barn. And it was a hoot, because we went, there were district employees there, teachers, a couple of school board members, and what an awesome example of collaboration. We had our building trade students, the electrical trade students, the FFA painting, we had the faculty out there, and they built it so that it would go from teaching to showmanship, from learning to doing. And it was the epitome of what they could use, and it's going to be used as an example at other schools, which was awesome. Fleming Island Band was officially invited to London, and I was able to come over here for that official invitation. And the three gentlemen from London had the greatest British accents ever. And I've got, one of them is a tour guide in Westminster Abbey. And so next time I'm in London, which happens so infrequently, definitely plan on looking him up. But congratulations to the music program here, the bands, and they did a phenomenal show that night. And also, thanks to Mr. Buck for inviting me over for that. Attending the Farm City Lunch, and generally, you go to the Farm City Lunch and other activities here in Clay County, and it's one of those things where, okay, we're all getting together and talking about things, but what I found most impressive was the students there. It was the Monday of Thanksgiving break. And I'm sitting there and I'm looking around at all of these nice FFA jackets. And Ms. Clark, I know you really want one of those FFA jackets. I know you do. But when the Farm Bureau hands each of the FFA clubs in our county a $1,000 check, it came home. It was just like, wow. They are so encouraging our children, and the speakers were absolutely phenomenal. Coming back from FSBA on Friday and going to the Foundation's first Alumni Hall of Fame. Talk about a Mr. Holland's Opus moment. I mean, the introductions of the alumni, and there were 2 educators that were honored. So it wasn't just alumni, but it was the educators as well. They were introduced by their coaches, the mentees, and the administrators. And there were times when you were just sitting, I sat there with goosebumps and literally tears, because it was such a phenomenal opportunity for these people. 'Tis the season for spelling bees as we approach the county spelling bee next in February. Thank you to Plantation Oaks, Argyle, Rideout, and W.E. Cherry for including me in your spelling bees. Looking forward to the Bannerman Christmas Lunch, which is right after our workshop next Tuesday. The Adult Ed graduation is next week, and a special shout out to our Education Achievement Award recipients' retirement, which is right around the corner. Thank you, Kim Turkana-Brohl, for truly touching so many children's lives. You have made a huge difference in all of our lives, so thank you for that. Lastly, and most importantly, thank you to all of the teachers, not just the teachers of the year, but to all of the teachers, the administrators, the staff who are keeping it together this last 5.5 days of the semester. I know it's tough, and thank you for doing that, and particularly, and we've been seeing this as we've been going into the schools, thank you for bringing our kids together back at school and trying to make things normal. It has been huge. My holiday wish is for you to have a wonderful break, and for mostly importantly, to take the time for you. Rest, relax, love on your families, and most importantly, love on yourselves. Thank you. Our meeting's adjourned.